Today I'm going to share with you crawlspace encapsulation. When we first bought this cabin, this white that you see here, it's a white, really thick poly. Poly's measured in usually 2 mils or whatever, or it's millionths of an inch. This poly is very, very thick. And when we first bought this cabin, everything you see down here, how it's all encapsulated with this poly, was all dirt. And then instead of this pink styrofoam insulation, it was concrete and everything like that. So when in the winter time, it was very, very cold on that area out front there. That is the lakeside. So the wind would come, blow in, make everything cold. Our floor was cold. And when we went into the cabin, it was very damp. It had like a damp smell because underneath this dirt here, it was always moist and damp. So all of that dampness would go up and you could kind of smell the dampness in the cabin. And it took me a few years to kind of realize that there was an issue down here, and I got a quote from a professional to see what it would cost to encapsulate the space, and it was going to cost $10,000 to do this space, to put all the poly in this space, put all this styrofoam on the side, and spray foam. And what this is, it's a special gun that shoots these caps into concrete, the nails and the caps into concrete. That's what's holding everything together. So instead of spending $10,000 to do the space, I did it myself. And it cost me probably $3,000. Maybe, yeah, I'm guessing about $3,000 in supplies. So that saved a ton of money. And then as you can see, I have friends, sometimes when they come here, they ask me where my furnace is. This is where my furnace is. I don't have the luxury of a utility room. So for me to do any work or anything down in the furnace, I have to crawl underneath here and play around with it. It's not fun. And it was even worse when this whole space was dirt and we had an ant issue and mice. When we first moved in here, we had mice, and by sealing this all up, this is mice-free. It's a mice-free zone now. And this furnace was also a big issue because they had a furnace in this cabin when we first bought it, but because it was a seasonal cabin, they had never used the furnace. Excuse me. And so we had to get this furnace commissioned and started it up again, and that was a cost. It ended up costing about $4,000 to get this furnace back up and going. Had I known that it was going to cost me $4,000, I probably would have bought a new furnace, a high efficiency furnace or something better, because yeah, this furnace is so-so, but they had to do a lot more ducting work to get everything back together again, and yeah. And that's what I wanted to share with you, all this, what it takes to encapsulate the space. So the foundation was insulated with 2-inch foam. All of the rim joists, there's insulation in between all the rim joists, and I use spray foam to spray every single piece of foam in there to keep it, to keep any cold air coming in, and also it seals that foam in there really good too. And I think this project took me a few weeks to get done, but yeah, it's all done. Our house is nice and warm. There's none of that damp, moist smell. And that's how the crawl space was encapsulated. And this rolling this tape, you see this black seam here? This is the seaming tape that would seam the rolls in. So it took quite a bit of work to roll this under, pull it under. I was wearing coveralls and it was very dirty. I had a neighbor. My neighbor wanted to come and help me out, but I said it's about some areas in the space is about 2.5 feet, so 2 guys down here is not fun. And then now that it's nice and clean, we use it as storage, as you can see, for a lot of supplies, because we don't have much storage, and in the wintertime it gets pretty cold. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to share today. Save some money, do things yourself.